Red button means we're live, a casual take with your boy Stephen Pepper. Here to give a take off my chest. So yesterday, as we talked about, Aaron Rodgers had his first practice as a Pittsburgh Steeler at mandatory minicamp. And after a session was done, the guy talked to the media for about 10, 12 minutes, answering questions, the typical what made you sign with Pittsburgh, and even announcing he got married officially sometime a few months ago. Congratulations to Rodgers. But of all the things he said, there's one thing that stuck out to me. And he was asked this question about a reporter in context of his decision to sign with Pittsburgh. Is there still internal motivation within him on winning another Super Bowl? And he said this, listen to this, quote, "This is about the love of the game that's given me so much over the years, making peace with a nice long career." Now you might be saying, well, I'm reading into it a little too much, but my takeaway from what he said is, I think this is going to be Aaron Rodgers' last year. Now, I've never been one to speculate on this type of things about athletes. Whenever I used to hear people say this about Tom Brady or LeBron James, I would laugh like, you have no idea what you're talking about. These guys are going to play till the end of time, and they ended up doing so. But I feel confident saying this about Rodgers because this is someone who's 41 and will be 42 by December of this season. And I think he signed with Pittsburgh on a one-year deal, by the way, to end his career on a good note. Remember, this is someone who's been contemplating retirement going all the way back to his MVP years in Green Bay. The darkness retreats and such, all the way up to 2 months ago when he's a free agent. He's on the McAfee show saying he's weighing his options, and one of them was being retired. And now he's married all of a sudden, which at any point he could just decide to settle down. So just think about it for a second. He could have retired at the end of his tenure with Green Bay, but he knew he still had some good years of ball left in him. So he goes to the Jets, but we all know how that started. 3 snaps into year one, he pops his Achilles. But if you watch his documentary on Netflix, you would know he wasn't trying to end his long and accomplished career off an injury. So he comes back a year later off of rehab, and he has an underwhelming season, if we're being honest. And I think Rodgers knows that. So he sees Pittsburgh as an opportunity, this stable, historic organization, which he noted throughout his press conference, led by Mike Tomlin, someone that he has a nice relationship with, which he also noted in the press conference. This is someone who's led subpar quarterbacks to the playoffs throughout the years. I think Rodgers sees this as an opportunity to just have a nice, soft ending his career and try to go win a playoff game. Because remember, Rodgers hasn't won a playoff game in like 5 years now. I think you have to go back to 2020 or 2021. And he hasn't made the playoffs in like 3 years. So I think he's trying to see this as like, okay, one last chance to try to go win a playoff game. And I want, before any Rodgers fans attack me, this is not coming from a place of hate. I am far and away a hater from Aaron Rodgers. I'm actually a big-time Aaron Rodgers fan. In fact, one of my very first football jerseys was an Aaron Rodgers Packers jersey. I got that right after he won a Super Bowl. I've been a big fan of Rodgers ever since. I'm not one of the people in the media who would revise Rodgers' career. I think he's my 4th or 5th highest-rated quarterback of all time. I might not be a fan of his politics or personality, but I'm damn sure a fan of his game still. I don't see MVP Rodgers anymore, but I still see some good ball left. Contrary to popular belief, I think Rodgers was good last year. Not great, but good. He still was top 10 in passing yards and touchdowns. I'm seeing him, and that's a year off Achilles, by the way. I'm watching the tape of him in practice. The guy's moving pretty swiftly. Now he's not moving like a Lamar Jackson, but he's off an Achilles, moving that good. I think he's got a good year left. Now, albeit with those numbers, he kind of came up small in the clutch. They didn't win up a bunch of games. And, you could say it was like garbage time and stat padding. But I think Rodgers still has one good season left. And I think he believes so, too, to have a full season removed from a season of having an Achilles injury. But if he continues to regress, which if you know anything about 41, 42-year-old players and athletes, they start to regress. And if Rodgers had an okay season last year. It wasn't bad, but he wasn't great. He had an okay season last year. And if last season was okay, at 42, it's not going to get any better, maybe even worse. So I don't think Rodgers is the type to play until he's literally like a bum. Like Brady, kind of just, I'm going to end it right here. I think Rodgers, after this season, he knows he signed a 1-year deal. This might just be it. He gets married. He's been contemplating retirement for a long time, going on 42 years old. He sees Pittsburgh, a team that goes to the playoffs with Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph, as an opportunity to go, okay, I can end my career on a good soft note. Because Nick Wright's been pushing this narrative for a long time. Like, look at all of Aaron Rodgers' peers, like the Mannings, the Elways of the world. Those guys ended their careers on playoff wins and even Super Bowls. And here's Aaron Rodgers, like 5 years removed from a playoff win. Pittsburgh is like a golden opportunity to get him this one last chance, maybe last dance at fighting for a playoff spot, fighting for a playoff win. And I think this is going to be Aaron Rodgers' last season. When he says stuff like making peace with a nice long career, I think his tenure in Pittsburgh for 1 year is going to be something that just wraps up his long accomplished career. But let me know what you guys think. I appreciate everyone for tuning in to this episode of A Casual Take. Follow my social media. Stay updated on all things related to the show. Till next time.